So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Oh, you want a blanket? Sorry. And both, so just excuse me, everyone. Judith, can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Drop me this. Okay. All right. So I've got my legs, I have them about a hip's width apart. Now, just imagine your ribs are aligning with your hips and your shoulders are aligned with your hips. So you have just kind of a nice, you're not kind of sticking out like this or rounded like that, just kind of nicely aligned. And imagine you're lengthening your spine from the base, the coccyx, all the way up through the crown of the head. And just lengthen your spine, putting some space in between the vertebrae. And then just go to the crown of the head and bring your attention there and relax your scalp and relax your face and your jaw and ears and the inner ear and the back of the head, the neck. And allow the shoulders and the shoulder blades to drop down. Relax your throat and chest and belly and all of your limbs. And just feel the sensations of the breath as you inhale and exhale. And just be aware of any sounds, smells, any extra sensory information that may possibly be distracting. So just be aware of the possibility, of the potential, and just allow it all to be there. And just check in with yourself this evening. Just how are you? So if there are some of you here who are, have been preparing for tomorrow's event, 25th anniversary, you might be feeling a little busy in your mind. So just maybe you've got things you have to do, people you need to talk to. So just allow all of that to relax. And maybe you can just release anything that's unnecessary or unwanted with the out breath. And so bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, the ones you don't like so much. And just keep in mind that these people, they're all equal. They're just like you and me. They want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we'll do this meditation for all these people of our life, and by extension, all the sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so, having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering, we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. So we're not needing or looking for Buddha to forgive us. We're not searching for a higher power. We're looking for medicine and methods. So Vajrasattva has these methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have a little section here on developing compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Triyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech. And imagine Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this kind of arcs around and enters your crown and kind of pours into you. And this time forces up from the bottom to the top parts of your body, forces out all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Rida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahompe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others with your speech. So all the harsh speech and the lying and the negative speech and all the things we do to harm others and ourselves with our speech, completely purified. Not possible to do any harm with your speech now. Next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room, you flick on a switch, and the light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So the same here, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachments and neediness, bitterness and grudges, disappointments, anger, depression, anxiety, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe, Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe. So now be delighted again. All your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are now totally purified, gone completely. They're finished. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine that Vajrasattva now sends a light and nectar together. And so just imagine the negativities of the body pouring down and out of the lower orifices, the negativities of the speech pouring up and just quite forcefully leaving the upper parts of the body. And then the light coming and just completely blasting all of the delusions. So this is all happening at the same time. So you imagine even the subtlest imprint of negative energies being eradicated from your consciousness. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe, ambhadrasapta samaya manupalaya, vajrasapta dina patita, Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negative energy is left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old stuff over and over again. So this determination This aspiration to refrain from harming is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in new directions, more positive directions. So think, as Rinpoche says, everything exists on the tip of the wish, the aspiration. So we just have to decide. We've got to want to do this. So rejoice in your efforts for coming along and having such an aspiration. And then think of something you'd like to work on over the weekend. So if you're going to be in a large group and doing lots of socializing this weekend, there may be plenty of opportunity for you to practice. I'm sure it's going to be of course it will be an extraordinary and fun event. And there's always somebody there that you might find irritating, or do you know what I mean? Or your mind might have a little bit of a critical thought. So just watch all those kinds of things arising, and then instead rejoice in the efforts, the extraordinary effort that the center has made over the last few years, how successful it's been, and have had some wonderful teachers, including Rwana. So anyway, rejoice, and then and sort of think of something you'd like to work on. Just take that around with you all weekend. Maybe just focus on one thing and just keep it in your heart. You don't have to tell everyone what you're doing. Okay, and then Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. So he would say, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. Let's dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I have created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's do our chanting the names of Manjushri. Not coming back. Not turning round Rhino, the leader of the Pratikya Buddhas, gone forth by going forth in different ways, the single cause of all great elements. Arhat Bhikshu, defilements exhausted, devoid of passion, master of the senses, arrived at comfort, met with security, for he, having cooled down, is free from stains. Equipped in full with knowledge and its base, a Sagata best knower of the world, not thinking me, not climbing onto mine, established in the system of the two truths. All right, everyone. Have a good weekend. Have a wonderful party, you people who are in Santa Fe and around in the surrounding area. Lots of love. Who was hosting tonight? Where have they gone? Oh, there's Shayla. Everybody moved around. Okay. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Good night. You want to say goodbye? Good night to Judith. I'll just turn the computer around. I think they're all going to try and wave at you. Good night. All right, everybody. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Good night, all.
All on Monday. Good night. Bye. Good night.